Alright, we're going to discuss using the view tools. Up here in your view box, up on the top toolbar, click and you'll see that, again, you have a variety of zooming in, zooming out. If you click on zoom in, it zooms in twice the amount, 200% or 100%. Zooming out will reduce it 100% each time. To fit, it will fit the window certainly to selection. If I've selected an item, it will zoom into that selection. One-to-one certainly zooms to the actual size of the design. And then you have a variety of percentages that you can zoom in. All right, let's go ahead and move over to the left toolbox. Number two, right here, you have your zoom tool. Click on the zoom tool. Come anywhere into the design. Left click and pull and drag. Within that box now, you will zoom into that box. All right? So you have a couple of different ways. You can either use the zoom box up here or use the zoom tool over here. Now, another way to view the design is with pan. By clicking on the pan icon right here, or you can just click on P on the keyboard. You're in the pan mode. At this point in time, move anywhere on the screen. Left click, hold, and now you can move the design and pan through the design. Any given area of the design, you can pan right through it. I use pan an awful lot within the structure. All right, let's go ahead and click on the down arrow here, and we'll go ahead and click on to fit again. All right, another way to view is certainly with the 3D view. This is your 3D icon over here on the far left. Left click on that and you will bring up the 3D or true view. Now, it's a very realistic 3D view, especially when you're looking at it on a one-to-one basis on the actual size of the design. Also in the print mode, I find that, or in my opinion, I believe it gives the best view in the 3D when you print it out from there. Now, a couple of other ways to view the design. If you want to utilize the grid in viewing, you can certainly just click on the grid, and it will bring up the grid on there. Now again, I am zoomed in, or I have set the grid to a very minimum amount of 1.5 millimeters. Certainly there's reasons for that when we get into digitizing even more so, but when you're at the actual size, it looks very, very small on the screen. Another way to view the design, to click off the grid, just simply left click on that again. Down below that, you have your stitches tool. By clicking on the stitches icon, click on it and it removes the stitches from the design. This is very, very helpful when you're going into editing. Just the outlines many times with the stitches disappeared is a wonderful way to edit, and amplifies the editing quite a bit. We'll go ahead and turn the stitches back on, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to show you the next feature. So I'll click on the zoom tool. Once again, I can just zoom in anywhere into the design. So we've zoomed in nice and tight. I'm going to also turn off the 3D view at this point in time. Down below the stitches icon is your stitch ends. Stitch ends shows the needle penetrations of the design. So when I click on stitch ends, you now see every needle penetration within the design. Look, this is very helpful, certainly in stitch editing. When you go into stitch edit, it allows you to find an individual stitch very, very quickly. Also, once I teach you a little bit more about the measurement theory and in the self-learning technique, this is incredibly helpful and essential in measuring stitch lengths and such that any given digitizer may have used in their design creation. Let's go ahead and click off of that. Two down from that, you have your hoop, okay? And the hoop is finally the last view tool that we're going to look. Once again, I'm going to go to the one-to-one size by clicking on the view tool, or excuse me, the hoop tool at this point in time. I can select a hoop, or you know what, I'll just ask it to suggest a hoop. Once it has suggested a hoop to use, you'll see that it indeed comes up on the screen. So again, you have in the zoom, you have your zoom box located up here. You have your zoom tool, you have pan, you have your 3D effect, you can utilize the grid, you can view stitches on or off, you can utilize or view needle penetrations, you can also view, and you know what, commands. I apologize, commands is also a way to view. By clicking on the commands, you'll now see every trim within the design. So the command tool can be very, very helpful when you're trying to locate just the commands, certainly, that have been put into the design. Start point, end points, trims, and such all show in the commands. So those are your view tools. Let's go ahead and move on.